What is going on, y'all? My name is Brett. Welcome to the Reef Karma channel. I'm a scuba diver, spear fisherman out of Northwest Florida. I live in Navarre, Florida. I primarily dive out of Destin, sometimes Pensacola. I'm going to narrate a dive here I did last Sunday. Today is Wednesday, November the 5th, with my buddy Jason. And Jason could get a little confusing. Captain Jason, he owns the boat. It's a 20-foot clear water. And then our dive buddy Jason, he's just another guy we met around the dive shop, and he's a great diver. Jason, I think he's a dive master. He might have not finished the certification, but very experienced diver. I'm lucky that he likes me hanging around. I've been diving for about 2 years. I have right around 200 dives. Mostly all I do is spearfish. I'm a tubby kid and I love eating fish. Fish is my favorite food, and it is expensive, so try to go out with my buddies and get some fish at a cheaper price and cook it up for friends and family and give to strangers even, who knows. The channel is called Reef Karma, so I go down and not only do I shoot reef fish like snapper and grouper and jacks, but I'll clear all the lionfish off every spot I go to, and I'm hoping that gives me good karma, and maybe on my next drop I get a 40-inch snapper or something. On Saturday we went out as well. I was lucky enough to shoot a 37-inch red snapper. I did a little clean fillet video, and I'm gonna have that out on YouTube shortly. Beautiful fish. It's probably gonna feed 12 people. It was an amazing fish. Pretty normal occurrence for us, not to brag, but we do have some good spots, and we're very fortunate to have a boat to get out to those spots and friends who want to dive with us. So, but it was my personal best red snapper, 37-inch. Today I'm going to narrate a dive. We were about 20 nautical miles out of the Pensacola Pass. We left out of Sherman Cove, Naval Air Station, Pensacola. I think that's how you say it. I was in the Air Force, I'm not sure. So NAS Pensacola. Jason had his boat trailer getting some work done. I think he's replacing an axle or something. And so the gentleman who's doing the work, he lives in Pensacola. And we got a transient slip at Sherman Cove from Saturday to Sunday, and dove Saturday and Sunday out of Sherman Cove. So we'll get right into the dive here. That's Captain Jason right there.
You ready?
So I have a zookeeper and a spear gun. Captain Jason and I are in the zookeeper tournament. It's October, December, as many lionfish as you can get. You have to submit your fish within 24 hours of shooting them. It's just an aggregate, so as many as you can get, and then based on the number you get, you place, and then based on your place, you get a prize. The first through fifth place, there's some pretty darn good prizes this year, so I'm looking to place top 5, and I know Jason is too. He's really interested in first place, and he's good enough to get it, so I'll keep you updated on that. I have a JBL here. I won it from the Emerald Coast Lionfish Tournament out of Destin Harbor, which I did with Jason as well. We got raffle tickets for the pre-tournament, and we're lucky enough to draw from the prize table from one of our raffle tickets, and Jason got me a spear gun, which I'm forever in his gratitude. I'm lucky that he keeps me around and brings me out fishing, because it is amazing every time we go out. This spot I think is about 105 feet deep. You can see we got that weight. It's tied off right to the cleat above the swim ladder, so it brings you right up to the swim ladder. And we got spot lock on a trolling motor, so he's gonna sit right here 10 feet off the spot the entire time. We're gonna go right down the buoy line, right to the pyramid. This is a pyramid. There, I can immediately already see there's Almaco jack. There was a school of amberjack on the way down. I could see some really nice mangrove snapper swimming around. I could see lionfish already on it. I could see good triggers on it, so I'm pretty excited. First dive of the day. My buddy Jason, and he is pole spearing some lionfish immediately. He hadn't dove in a while. It's been a couple months for him. He's busy. He just retired out of the military, got a new job, so he's been working a lot, and he immediately goes to lionfish, so I immediately go to dinner fish, mangrove snapper. I see some nice mangroves inside the pyramid. Mangroves love shelter, so they're all cooped up in here. I'm tracking this big one on the left right now, and there's some good trigger in there too. And that trigger moves in my way as I'm tracking the mangrove, so I pull back. I'm looking at him, he's doing some twists and turns. Get him right. I think I got him right behind the eye, not quite a stone. But spear went straight through him. It was a clean shot, didn't touch any of the fillet. And as I'm trying to wrangle him in, my spear is positively buoyant, which, I don't know, I find it a little annoying. Some guns are neutrally buoyant, which are nice, but this is positively buoyant, so as soon as I shoot the fish, the steel spear is off the gun, it starts floating up. And right here, it doesn't always happen, but right here it gets tangled in something on my harness. Blocks the view of the camera, it's like right in my face. A little annoying, not a big deal, but I unwrap it. The fish is tied up on the pyramid, so I just getting him under control. His trigger's looking for a free meal, he just wants a bite of anything. All these other mangroves are just cuddled in the corner. You feel bad shooting them sometimes, because they are just scaredy cats and they hide and hide and hide. But it is probably the best way to harvest them in terms of the environment if I just go out and get them myself, and it's also the cheapest, so feel bad doing it, but they taste delicious. You can see that mushroom weight bouncing up and down. See all those little cool reef fish swimming around the pyramid. It's a nice pyramid, very lively. There's some growth on it, some shellfish, some vegetation. See those almaco jacks coming in and out of frame, which are also delicious. I don't know, some people say they don't like almaco or they're trash fish or something, but they're delicious, trust me. So yeah, I'm just getting this fish under control, getting it on my stringer, which is attached to my zookeeper. Then I'm gonna reload my spear gun. You can see the gills right there sitting in the sand. Typically, I don't bring out my knife and brain a fish like you'll see a lot of other guys do. If it's a fish under 30 inches, I can just reach my 2 fingers in their gills and pull out their gills, and that immediately kills them, bleeds them, stops them from fighting. I don't have to worry about a knife. I don't have to worry about slipping and stabbing myself, or while I'm dealing with my spear gun tangled up, I don't have to bring another instrument in the picture. So I just found that's an easy way to deal with the smaller fish. I reloaded my gun, restringed the line, and now I'm just setting the rubber back. And I'm gonna go in here for another shot. Jason's over here tagging lionfish. I'm trying to get a perfect shot. Sometimes I don't know, I don't want to mess up the fillet. I want a perfect shot. He's shooting lionfish, scaring the mangrove I'm tracking. Then there's a few other mangroves that come in. Boom, perfect stone shot. You saw those mangroves swimming behind the one I was tracking, and I don't want my spear to go through this guy and injure another fish, or even go through another fish right in the middle of the fillet and ruin it. So I'm just waiting for a clear shot. You see all these beautiful little fish on the pyramid, and then all the almacos, and I think there's a few vermilion in there in that school. They're coming in, waiting for me to rip out those gills so they can get a free lunch. I'm just getting this fish under control, getting it on my stringer, on my zookeeper. I'm just gonna leave him in the sand. And I think I go back for one more fish in this dive. First dive of the day. Coming out with 3 mangrove, and I'm in a lionfish tournament, so. And the day before I shot a 37-inch red snapper, and I think a triggerfish and a mangrove. So, I got enough fish for the next couple weeks after this dive. I think the rest of the day I focused strictly on lionfish, and I was able to share a lot of my fish with. There's my old dive buddy Pete. He worked at the dive shop I worked at for a little while. Shout out Shark Quest. And I come over and give him fish. He's getting a little older. He's got a knee replacement and some other surgeries, so he can't dive as much. I come over and give him fish whenever I go out, and he loves it. So yeah, I secure that mangrove. I'm resetting my gun. I think the shock cord and the line comes over to the left side of the gun, and when it comes over to the left side and you reset the string, the line sits over the gun, which will affect your accuracy. So I flip the shock cord over back to the right side, and then I'm just restringing the gun over the trigger mechanism. And then I'll reset the rubber, and I think I go in for another fish here. You can see those Almaco just swimming around. They're like little puppy dogs. They just want to hang out. Jason, I think he's done shooting lionfish. He's like, "Come on, dude. What are we doing? Let's get out of here. You know, we're done with this dive." He's probably getting a little annoyed at this point. But I just couldn't help myself. One more fish. Boom, I shot that one. I believe I stoned him as well. But I saw my spear go through the fish, through the other side of the pyramid, and get tangled up. So I immediately just dropped my gun. It's gonna float up and get wrapped in the pyramid. It's not going anywhere. Find my spear on the other side of this pyramid through a teeny little hole. And I'm just getting it under control, getting it untangled, feeding it back through the pyramid. Now I'm gonna swim back around, control the fish, reset my gun, and call it, because yeah, probably already overstayed my welcome. My dive buddy wants to get to a new spot and shoot more lionfish, and I don't blame him. Here we go. Got my gun back under control. Almaco and amberjacks schooling together above us. Trigger's still hanging around. He's a legal trigger. I could shoot him too, but 3 mangrove is plenty for one dive. And he's just waiting for me to rip out those gills so he can get a free lunch. You could see me throwing the gills, and he goes right for him. Bang. The trigger are funny. I have a lanyard on my spear gun and my zookeeper, and I just clip them to my vest when I'm done, and we'll go up to the surface and do our safety stop and get back on the boat. So here I got everything under control. You can see a couple of my mangroves on the stringer, which is clipped to my zookeeper. I'm trying to get my gun back under control, get the line out of this mangrove I just shot, and head up so me and Jason can hit the next spot and get some more lionfish. But there is a surprise coming, so stay tuned. You can see we stirred up quite a bit of sand. Still some fish hanging around. That's a little vermilion snapper. They call them beeliners or mingos. Delicious fish, little red snapper. He was schooling around with the Almacos, waiting for a lunch. There's a little Almaco. He's I don't know why they're doing that. They like rub their heads or their backs against the sand. I've been told by somebody, which I don't think it's correct, but it's an idea, that they, you know, they're a jacks, I guess, are pretty well known for having worms, so the parasites in their skin are irritating to them, and they feel like they have to go down to the skin, or to go down to the sand and rub their backs against it like a cat or something. But you'll see them in my videos do it quite often. I don't know if that's the real reason, but I think it's hilarious. They remind me of like a little puppy dog or a cat. And you can see this mixed school of amberjack and Almaco. They like to hang out right above the reef usually, and they'll follow you all the way up or all the way down. Sometimes I'll drop like 50 feet off of a reef, and the Almacos and AJs will guide me right to the reef. I don't have to look too hard. I'm trying to get my gun under control and get everything organized and finish the dive off here. And Jason and I both look down here in a moment, and we seem to have brought the attention of a shark. I could see him coming out of frame. You can't quite see him on the camera, but I saw him from probably about 40 feet off the reef. And I get slightly panicked, not a really big deal. He's not chasing us, so it doesn't really bother me, but you see him there on the bottom of the frame. And he's sniffing around like a mad dog. Probably smells all that blood, all those gills I left there, and he's searching for that dead fish. Me and Jason both look at each other and we're like, shark, dude. And yeah, you can see this shark ripping around the pyramid, trying to find that fish. Where's that dead fish? Where's that dead fish? And we're probably about 40, maybe 50 feet above him at this point, so we won this battle. So yeah, Jason's got a full zookeeper lionfish. I got 3 mangrove on my stringer. First dive of the day. It's like 105 feet. I'll put the picture up. Perfect dive. Can't ask for anything better. See all the mangrove there. And we make our way up to the safety stop and climb back on the boat. You can see these almaco just trailing us up, trailing us up. It's almost like, dare I say, they want you to take them home and cook them for dinner. That's what it feels like. Today I bought a 6-foot JBL aluminum pole spear. I prefer the carbon ones, but that's all I had at the shop, so I went out and bought an aluminum 6-foot pole spear. I think I'm gonna try to mix that into a few videos because I find it more skillful and entertaining from a spectator's position. Just adds a little bit more difficulty and a little bit more cool factor if you shoot a fish with a pole spear as opposed to a spear gun. So going forward, I think I'm going to work in some pole spear action. I also got a red snapper, 37-inch red snapper fillet and clean video, just some little tips and tricks on filleting large snapper and Florida reef fish. So you go check that out. We're getting here toward our safety stop, and that pretty much wraps it up. So like and subscribe if you like content like this, and tight lines.